Hello everyone. Welcome to the class of E-Plan and Electrical Control Technology. Last time, we used drawing tools such as Black Box, PLC Box, and Macro to draw the electrical schematic diagram of PLC Colored Light Control System. In the following study, we will continue to insert terminals in the schematic diagram. Previously, we have learned the concept of terminal block, focusing on how to quickly insert a single-layer terminal block in graphics, laying a foundation for drawing multi-layer terminal blocks later. Today, we will consolidate and learn the insertion method of single-layer terminal block by taking the PLC Colored Light Control System as example, and further learn how to draw multi-layer terminal blocks.
First, insert a single-layer terminal block into the output end. The specific operation method is as follows. Click Project Data Terminal Block Open Navigator in the menu bar. Right-click to select New Function. Create Terminal Block X1 in the Navigator with a numbering style of 1 to 10 with 10 terminals in total. Select Terminal. Two connection points in function definition and click OK. The created terminals can be placed directly in the graphics. The method is to select all terminals or directly select the terminal block X1 and right-click to select placement. Insert the terminal block X1 below the PLC output terminal by dragging, and then modify the default terminal symbol to a common symbol. The specific operation method is as follows. Select the terminal block X1, right-click to open Properties, click Extension after Number and Name, select the first symbol in Terminal, two connection points, and click OK, so that the symbols in the graphic will update automatically. Create a new single-layer terminal block X2 with the same method. And insert the power supply terminal for PLC input end. In order to explain the application of multi-layer terminal block, we replace two start buttons in PLC schematic diagram with proximity switches. Next, we create a new multi-layer terminal block and insert terminals for proximity switches. The specific operation method is similar to that of the single-layer terminal block. Right-click the new function in the terminal block navigator, modify the device name as X3 in the pop-up generation function dialog box, and enter 1 plus, 1 minus, 1, 2 plus -2 for the numbering style, indicating that a two-layer terminal block has been created where 1 plus 1 minus 1 indicate the naming of each terminal on the first layer terminal block. 2 plus indicates the first terminal on the second layer terminal block. -2 indicates the last terminal name to the last layer. As two proximity switches are used in the graphic, only two layers need to be created. Select Terminal, two connection points in the function definition to determine the terminal type. Finally, check the box for multi-level terminals. Fill in the number of terminal levels as 3, indicating that there are 3 terminals on each level of the terminal block. Click OK. the newly created multi-layer terminal block appears in the navigator list. ePlan defaults that only the first terminal of each layer is the main terminal, and the difference can also be seen from the icon. Next, first modify the symbol of the terminal block as a commonly used symbol. Then continue to insert the proximity switch. Select the terminal block X3 and click Placement. And then continuously insert terminal 1+ above connection point 1 of the proximity switch B1, terminal 1- above connection point 2, terminal 1- below connection point 3, and continue to insert terminal blocks 2+, 2-, and 2 for the proximity switch B2. In this way, the two-level terminal block is drawn. Of course, if there are a few number of terminals, we can insert them directly. For example, the terminal symbol can be inserted directly above the DC power supply by dragging. The operation method is to right-click to select Insert Symbol, find Terminal, 2 connection points, and place them directly above the DC power supply by dragging. In this way, the terminal symbols are inserted quickly and orderly for the whole project. If you need to generate a terminal diagram, you also need to associate parts with the terminal symbols. I'll leave this part to you. Please complete it independently after class. Finally, export the drawing to PDF. The specific method is as follows. Select the drawing page and click Page, Export PDF in the menu bar. Fill in the schematic diagram of PLC colored light control in the pop-up dialog box as the name of PDF file. Select the PLC colored light control folder on computer desk as the output directory and click OK. Next, return to the PLC colored light control folder on the computer desktop and view the saved PDF file for future call.
Dear students, in this lesson, we focused on how to insert single-layer terminal block and multi-layer terminal blocks in graphics, as well as the differences in their properties. In actual production and application, the single-layer terminal block has strong firmness, so it is generally considered to be used first, while the advantage of multi-layer terminal block is that it can be made very thin, and when the space for installation cabinet is small, it can save space. Furthermore, in case there are a large number of wires, it can be used first. Have you got it, everyone? Okay, that's all for today. See you next time.